That's a very catchy countdown clock music, isn't it? I listen to it 30 seconds every week, and it's starting to grow on me. All right. Well, welcome to Speaking of Zane, October 30th edition. 211 times we've done this, dating all the way back to August the 5th, 2018, when I got a hairy idea to just get on here and ramble a little bit about Zane. And it turned into something that I've done most weekends, most Sunday nights for, well, 211 times. So how about that? Well, let's see. What do we got here? Isn't it hard to believe October's already coming to an end? One more day, we'll be into November. Lori is in there. Steve Shirley is in there. Facebook user, I think that's Carl and Peggy Q from Warsaw, Missouri are in there. Jimbo Miller's in there. Hey, Jim. And I think my Aunt Mary's in there. Or a Facebook user that says, hey, Tommy, that's my name when I was a kid. For those that don't know, I'm a junior. I'm named after my dad, Guy Thomas McDonald, and I'm a junior. And as a kid, they called me Tommy, short for Thomas. And so all my family knew me as Tommy all the way until I went in the Air Force, probably, and they still call me Tommy, but I don't mind one bit. My mom still calls me Tom. Let's see. Well, let's see. What is, hadn't been really a very busy week here at the fabulous McDonald Estate and Insane Asylum. But pretty normal, actually, this week, running up into Halloween. Two of the kids were here for the weekend. Everett comes home for the weekend. He spent the weekend, got to hang out with him a little bit. He's our little about to be 6-year-old grandson, Hannah's little boy. And then Carson, our little about to be 3-year-old whirlwind of a granddaughter, was here for a couple of days, and she's always fun. A very persistent young lady she is. She'll be back tomorrow for Halloween. I think she's going to trick or treat here in the neighborhood. Little baby Carson, as Everett calls her. Okay, yep, I got it, Jim. I think that's Carl. Yeah, thank you for that. Well, let's see. Weight loss update. How about a weight loss update? I've been eating pretty doggone good. You guys see my meals because I do post pretty regular, whether you like it or not. And 63 pounds. 63 pounds. So I think that's up a pound from last week. I got some accountability buddies at work trying to keep me on track. We're counting our steps, so I'm making sure that I keep my activity up, because once you've lost so much, and I found this out in the first couple of months. When I started this in January, well, March came along and I kind of hit a stall, and I had lost all the water weight I was going to lose. I had lost weight that was just a natural byproduct of no sugar, no carbs. And I hit this a little bit of a stall in March, and I started exercising, and then boom, it just kept going. It kept going from there. But of course, the more you lose, the slower the loss is. But I'm trying to ramp up my activity now. I'm doing 3 miles a day. Part of that I'm running. So I'm trying to increase the activity so that the body feeds off the fat reserves and not any sugar or carbohydrates. I don't really eat any sugar or carbs, but anyway, so 63 pounds. So we'll see how things go. I got some buddies at work that are keeping me honest, like I said. So we'll see how things progress. Let's see. Oh, there's my dad. Hey, Dad. Mac Marine. And Daryl's in there. Hey, Daryl must have got back home from church there in Florissant. I'm not sure where his church is, but he lives in Florissant, Missouri. But good to have you all in there. Do have a little some activity coming up. Well, in the month of November, a lot of veterans-related activities coming up. One that I've done the last couple of years, and I forgot really to say much about it this year. I registered for it several months ago, and that's a 5K race that my company is a major sponsor for, based in St. Louis, called the Veterans Day 5K. And basically, we run for a Daryl probably knows of the St. Patrick's Center there in St. Louis. They do a lot of work for homeless veterans, and every Veterans Day they do a race and raise a bunch of money for that. This will be my 3rd year doing it virtually, and I haven't decided where I'm going to do the 5K, but it's on Saturday, this coming Saturday, November the 5th. Let me share with you. Where's the share? Where did they move the share button? There we go. They've changed a couple of things here. Okay. I'll show you what the t-shirt looks like. T-shirt's a very nice looking t-shirt. Stick with me here because my screen has frozen on me for some reason. And I might have to do a little something to try to get it to come back. Somebody put in the chat whether you can still hear me. Oh, here we go. Looks like it's catching up. I probably need to reboot my laptop every now and then. Sometimes that seems to help. There you go. That's there's the t-shirt. It's a nice olive drab OD green with a race to end veteran homelessness. And they raise a lot of money there. And our company that's headquartered in St. Louis, we're one of the big sponsors. So there'll be a lot of people there in town running, and then a lot of people running virtually all across the country. So that'll be fun. But like I said, this will be the 3rd year I've done it, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, you guys see me okay? Yeah, my screen just froze there for a minute. Yeah, some other Veterans Day related activities coming up at work with you guys have heard me talk about. We have a veterans employee resource group at work. We do a lot of cool things recognizing our veterans. We have over 700 veterans at the company I work for. We've got about 8,000 employees. Between 700 and 800 are veterans. That's almost 10% if my math is right. I was never really good at math, but not too bad. Of course, a lot of veterans on the side of the company that works with all the military branches. Of course, most of those folks are veterans as well. So that kind of skews our numbers a little bit. But yeah, we got a bunch of things. We got a lunch and learn that we're doing. I'm speaking at. We've got we're highlighting a veteran a week. We're highlighting, and I submitted a couple of folks that work for me. We're highlighting some veterans, and we've got who do we have? I think we have the Surgeon General of the Army. That's going to be part of our lunch and learn on November the 11th, which is actually Veterans Day. So we got a lot of cool things going on. I'm going to be actually sharing in that forum, I'll be sharing about the work we did at my Warriors Place, actually, like I did just a couple of weeks ago. I'll probably be telling the same story again, but it's kind of cool that our company and our leadership recognizes that the president of our company, who I've got a little bit of a relationship with, Joe Koenig, he reached out to me after and just said, "Hey, good job there." And he's always reaches out to me for military or veteran related questions or whatever. But anyway, that'd be fun at work in the month of November. Okay, let's see. Speaking of veterans, Jackson, I've talked about our son Jackson. Thanks the GoFundMe that I established for him to help him finish his pilot training continues. People continue to contribute to that, and I'm happy about that. And we'll get him through. He's committed. He's committed. He was having his doubts there. I tell you, and I don't blame him at all. I mean, just set of circumstances can beat you down. Life can beat you down. And, I know, his wife's encouraged him and Lori's encouraged him and I've encouraged him. And so he's kind of back, he's kind of, has a renewed vigor about completing college and specifically completing the private pilot's license. And, he's invested so much in that, so much time and heart and everything. So we're going to help see him across the finish line there. All right. Well, let's see. What else? Hat of the week. Hat of the week. Hat of the week usually has something to do with what the heck is going on here. And I was undecided on the hat of the week right up until the very last minute. And I couldn't tie it to anything. So for some reason, it's kind of cool today. I put on this long sleeve T-shirt today, and it happens to be the T-shirt from Zane's unit, 369 AR of the third ID. So I've been wearing 369. What is their motto? Speed and power. Speed and power. You can see. I don't know if you can see that or not, but anyway, that was Zane's unit, 369 AR, and so at the last minute, I decided, well, I'll just throw on the 3rd Infantry Division hat and go all out Rock of the Marne. So that is the hat of the week. How's it going there, Hillmans? All right. Let's see. John Evall, get a quality clap from a former 3rd ID soldier there, Johnny Evall. John was one of Zane's best friends. I'll tell you, Zane just loved John to death, and what a great guy. Good to have you in there, John, and I'd love to hang out and have a beverage with you sometime, that's for sure. But thanks for stopping by and applauding the 369 of the 3rd ID. How about that? All right, well, moving on to this week in military history. Well, if you know of an item for this week in military history, put it in the chat there, because I was looking around and I didn't spend a lot of time on it today, but I did find one. And actually, this is a couple of weeks old, actually a few weeks old. But I thought it was significant. On October 4th, 1957, the Russians launched the first man-made satellite, Sputnik 1. And that was October 4th, 1957. Really started the space race, didn't it? Started the space race. And we got rattled a little bit in America having something orbit over the United States or North America. But anyway, if I'm missing anything important on this week in military history, put it in the chat for sure. All right, let's see. I think that's Carl that says October 27th was Navy Day. Navy Day. Yeah, we did do the Navy birthday last week, I believe. Was it their 200 and... Oh, I forgot. We did talk about the Navy last week. Thank goodness for the Navy, that's for sure. All right, well, let's move on to Veteran Cemetery Challenge. We had a couple of visits this week. Daryl, correct me if I get this wrong, but I think you made 2 visits to Jefferson Barracks. By the way, one of the things we're doing at work, one of the things we do as a veterans community at work is Wreaths Across America. There's my mother-in-law, Carol Smith. Hey, Carol, mother-in-law. There's Kelly Cowell. Hey, Kelly, was just talking about, I get to tell the My Warriors Place Hurricane Ian cleanup story again at work in a couple of weeks on our Veterans Day lunch and learn. So, and by the way, Kelly, I owe Jack a call tomorrow. Assuming that he doesn't have his printer or he doesn't have his laptop working on the printer, I'll give him a call. I told him I'd call him, but I haven't had a chance yet. But I think hopefully his is the only laptop that can't print right now. But anywho, Kelly, I tell you what, it's such a, I think I speak for Lori too. Whenever we come down there, we have this such a sense of purpose, like I cannot describe. And I don't know, I get as much out of it as I give to it. That's for dang sure. And but we love everything that we do when we're down there. Okay, let's see. Veteran Cemetery Challenge. We had a few visits this week. Daryl, correct me if I get this wrong, but I think you made 2 visits to Jefferson Barracks, which made me remember one of the things we do at work is Wreaths Across America. And we've done it for quite some time now. And like I mentioned, the company I work for is headquartered in St. Louis, and there is a very big cemetery there, Jefferson Barracks National Cemetery in the St. Louis area. So we always get a pretty good sized crew from work to donate for wreaths. I think last year we raised 250 wreaths, something like that at work. And we had a crew out there helping place the wreaths. And we'll do that again this year. December 17th. December 17th will be the day. It's the Saturday. And at Jefferson Barracks, it's at 11 a.m. Central Time. And I know, Daryl, we'll have folks from my work out there. But yeah, so I'm going to begin sort of a fund driving at work for that. And Wreaths Across America lets you customize your own website within their website. So I have done that again this year. And so I'll be sharing that with everybody at the company so they can, donate to get wreaths, and then they can register or sign up to be part of the team that goes out there and places them. And then I'm going to do the same thing here in Georgia, like I did the last couple of years at Georgia National Cemetery. I create a whole separate team and a separate website for Speaking of Zane. And I had last year, I had probably a dozen people join me out at Georgia National to place wreaths. It was great. A bunch of my colleagues from work and my old buddy Matt Cobb, and he brought some folks from his work. We had a really good time. So I'll begin sharing that more and more. I put the Wreaths Across America link on the Speaking of Zane Facebook group, so you can go there anytime, wreathsacrossamerica.org, I think it is, and find a place near you where you can contribute for the wreaths or register to go be part of a team that places wreaths. So I'm helping my company in St. Louis, but I'm putting together a group of my own here in Georgia as well. So that'll be fun. So stay tuned for that. All right, so Daryl made a couple of visits. Jimbo made a visit to Omaha National Cemetery and paid his respects to our mutual colleague, Todd Vanderwerken, and to young Marine Dagan Page, who was killed in Afghanistan. So thank you, Jimbo, for always doing that and sharing that with us. Good stuff. So far, over the last few years, this relatively small group of patriots has made 706 visits to a veterans cemetery, 164 different cemeteries over the years. How about that? And we continue to grow. All right, 1954, that's a good one there. The Defense Department announced the elimination of all segregated regiments. That's great. Okay. That must be you, Ken. Sometimes if you, for some reason on StreamYard here, which is the platform I use to broadcast on, if you come in on the Speaking of Zane Facebook group, for some reason it just says Facebook user and I can't tell who you are. But if that's you, Ken, good to have you in there. I know you missed last week, and Ken was actually, we did chronicle your visit to Arlington, where your mother and father rest. And then I know that you visited again on Monday, not under, well, is a visit under good circumstances, but you were there for the laying of rest of a fellow Air Force colleague there. And it's Ken, Steve said. Yeah, okay, that's Ken. Thank you, Steve. Yeah, so we got you down for another visit, Ken, to Arlington. And Ken shared some very personal experience there on the, you can go on the Speaking of Zane, but it is emotional. And especially, I mean, Ken has a father and a mother there, and then he was bearing a colleague as well. Just, I'm sure, an emotional weekend for you last weekend. But thank you for sharing with us and letting us know. And always enjoy your commentary. So I did forget that one. I think I didn't take that one into account. So I'm going to up our number to, I knew you did that, but I don't think I counted it last week. So 707, 4 visits this week, 707 visits that we've made as a team. So Ken, I know Ken has been to Arlington several times since he's been a member of the Speaking of Zane group. And it is a special place. I've probably been 4 times, I think, maybe 4 times, maybe 5. And just every time I go there, I'm just so humbled, amazed. Been there with my dad once. But yeah, just an amazing place. All right. Well, how about Thank a Vet Challenge? I had a couple of those this week, but I know Daryl, I heard from Daryl. Daryl had a nice little encounter with a fellow retired Air Force vet called Dwight, who was, I think he was a ground radio troop, wasn't he, Daryl? And it's always fun to run into a fellow vet and have a conversation. Aunt Paula thanked a retired Air Force veteran and an Army veteran this week. Thank you, Aunt Paula. And let's see, Ken, I've got your thank yous, Ken, and tell me if I missed any. Ken thanked 2 Marine Corps gate guards while he was up in that neck of the woods. He also thanked a Marine Corps second lieutenant. Just a sad story, a young lady, I guess, that is actually being separated from the Marine Corps really before her career can begin, and it's just an absolute shame. And she's one of the thousands who have been separated for not getting the vaccine. And I don't want to cause any, I don't want to cause any conflict on here. I right or wrong, or if you agree or don't agree, it's whether you agree with that and everything. It's just sad. It's sad for a young lady who's, had set her mind to becoming a United States Marine, and then, having that get in the way of the career. We'll see what the future holds for her. But Ken, thank you for not being afraid to share that fact. Ken also thanked a Marine Corps Korean War vet. How about that? And an Army Vietnam vet. A lot of vets walking around out there that deserve to know that they're appreciated. Ken does his part. Let's see. I thanked a Marine Corps veteran at work, a guy that is actually a guy that we're partnering, another company that we're partnering with to do a little bit of work on my project. And then thanked a soldier, a veteran, Army veteran at work. And then probably my favorite veteran encounter of the week, actually not probably, but it was my favorite veteran encounter of the week was, I guess it was Wednesday. I get a text from my old buddy Lanny Witt, who lives over in Rainbow City, Alabama, a suburb of Gadsden, Alabama. And Lanny says, "Hey, how about lunch?" And so I knew he was in town. He was actually over here looking at cars. And I said, "Well, it looks like it'll work out for me. I'll meet you." We met at a place in Hiram, Georgia called Butterbeans. Never been there before, but who would not want to eat at a place called Butterbeans? And anyway, so I went over there and met Lanny, and we had a good old country style lunch, and always good to see him. And I'll probably see him more than any of my other Air Force buddies because he lives just a couple hours away. But it's always good to catch up with him. So if I add up all the thank yous that I know about, I think we're at 11 for the week. 11 times somebody has heard "thank you," or "I appreciate your service," or "Hey, what'd you do in the military?" And that takes us to a grand total over the years of 1,736 times. How about that? So wow, we're closing in on the 2,000 mark. We got less than 300 to go to hit the 2,000 mark. Remember when we hit 1,000? Lori made us a nice little celebratory sign. It wasn't that long ago. Let me show you where it's at. I've got it up on the wall there. See that? When we hit 1,000 thank yous, Lori had that really nice American flag sign made. So, maybe we'll just scratch out the 1 and add a 2, Lori. I don't know. We'll see. But we got about 300 more to go before we have to worry about that. But I'm so happy you guys are doing that along with us. It's a lot of fun to thank and be thanked. All right, let's see. Mary says their youngest son purchased a house in Ponca, Nebraska. Found out that Senator McCarthy built the house and Teddy Roosevelt would stay in the house. Wow. Yeah, no, he was a big hunter, Teddy Roosevelt. What a great story. Awesome. Good stuff. Okay, so that's the Think a Vet Challenge. So we hit the cemetery visit challenge, the Think a Vet Challenge. And the only thing I had, we track organizations that do good work for veterans and military members, and we talk about it. And let me run through a list of this. This is a list of organizations that we've stumbled into, come across, ran across, partnered with, support over the years. Folds of Honor is one. Georgia Run for the Fallen. Last couple of years, they've honored Zane. This year at mile 194. Let's Buddy Up, Missing in Action Project or Missing in America Project, Running to Honor, the race up in Michigan that our friend Aaron Bartell leads, Continuing the Mission, 22-0, which Kelly knows all about. Kelly completed the training through 22-0. I forgot to ask her about that when I saw her a couple weeks ago. Cherokee County Homeless Veterans Organization, the Mighty Oaks Foundation, Reed's Cross America, the Gary Sinise Foundation, the Warriors Art Room, Carry the Load, Mission 22, and of course my Warriors Place. By the way, go look at the Speaking of Zane Facebook group and see my post I forwarded from Kelly. If you want to win a yacht, or if you want a chance to win a yacht, you got to buy a raffle ticket. I think the raffle ticket's like $50, and they're only going to sell so many of them, and somebody's going to win a yacht. There's a description and all that on there. You can go to the Speaking of Zane Facebook group and see all about that. But wouldn't that be cool? All right. Well, let's see. I don't see Matt Aaron in here tonight. Matt was one of Zane's battle buddies. I was going to get an update on him. He actually attended a graduation ceremony. He's doing some trade school or something, and I got to find out all about that. But him and Katie had a nice dinner and celebration at this graduation. I want to hear more about it. Of course, Matt is still in the National Guard, went on to serve in the Guard, the Michigan National Guard. So we'll perhaps get an update from him next week. All right. Well, I don't see any other this week in military history items in the chat, but I will tell you to keep your eyes open. There you go, Kelly. Yeah, thanks for that reminder. It's only $50 a ticket. $50 a ticket, and they're only going to sell so many. So $50 a ticket, and somebody is going to win a yacht. How about that? Good stuff. Good stuff. Okay. Kelly's always got stuff going on down there, for sure. All right. Well, don't forget to thank a vet. If you see somebody out there wearing a crazy veteran's hat like I wear most of the time, I know Daryl does. I know Ken does. Strike up a conversation. You don't have to. Say thank you necessarily. Just say, hey, where'd you serve? I love chatting with, especially men that are older than me. I love to hear the stories about them. I guess there's more veterans younger than me than older than me now, though. But I love to talk to the older veterans and find out about them. But and check on your buddies. Don't forget to check on your friends. I mean, we can attest to, not everybody is in a good place. And so check on your buddies. Speaking of buddies, there's Travis Lowe, Zane's platoon sergeant. How you doing, pal? Doing great here. You can see I'm sporting your colors there. I got 369 t-shirt on and third ID hat. So hopefully that makes you stand tall. And good to have you in there. Always good to have you in there. All right, yeah, check on your buddies. I mean, Travis and Johnny and Matt, they can all attest that it's not just been Zane that has been lost. Lost Doc and oh gosh, a couple of others. What's the guy's name? Matt or Mark? Yeah, just a sad situation, but you don't know. You just don't know the impact that you might have on somebody just by checking on them and letting them know you give a damn, I guess. And yeah, but you know how my favorite Ronald Reagan quote, we can't help everyone, but everyone can help someone, seems to apply when you're talking about 22 a day, 22 veterans commit suicide a day. And that doesn't even count the ones that die from drugs or alcohol or other unintentional reasons. But anyway, check on your buddies, that's for sure. You just don't know the impact you might have. You may never know the impact. Sometimes you will, sometimes you won't. Okay, well, I am at the end of my notes here for this week for Speaking of Zane, but great to have some of the regulars drop in there, Kelly and Travis and Johnny, and good to have everybody in there. There you go. Kelly's got the link in there. Get your ticket there for a chance to win a yacht. MWPraffle.com, mywarriorsplaceraffle.com. All right. Okay, gang. Well, have a great week. We'll look forward to seeing everybody again next Sunday, and I'll be prepared to report how I did on the 5K. I'm going to run a good bit of it this year. I'm starting to run and incorporate some more running at my age, and I'm loving it. So we'll see how we do, and we'll look forward to reporting to everybody next week. Take care. We'll see you later.